Hi everybody, I'm Jackie, Group Leader, and today I'm going to be demonstrating the Luxury Reflexology Winter Saviour treatment. To help me, I've got a couple of my fellow consultants. I've got the lovely Audrey, who's loaned me her feet today, and Mukti, who's behind the camera. So I'd like to start with what oils I'm diffusing. So I've got the lovely little Live diffuser here. The first oil I'm diffusing is Bay Laurel, and this is an absolutely beautiful oil to diffuse for winter because it's a really deep, rich aroma. It's quite spicy, but it also has a very nice cleansing scent to it. So it's perfect for winter because it's lovely and warming, and it has lots of naturally cleansing properties. So it's great for boosting the immune system, and it's great for lifting spirits and just general warmth and comfort. But on its own, I think it can be a little bit too heavy. So I've just lightened it up with a few drops of mandarin, but it works well with any sort of citrus, as well as rosemary and frankincense. So as you can see, I've given my client a lovely cup of warm tea, and the tea I've chosen is the Quiet Time tea, which is a lovely blend of rose, lime flower and chamomile. So it's immediately calming and relaxing. But just actually holding a cup of warm tea or any warm drink, I find it immediately softens the pace of life. You immediately start to relax, and maybe all of the problems that you thought you had aren't maybe as bad as what you once thought. So I find it's a really lovely addition to this treatment because it will really help to relax your client, boost the winter theme of having a nice warm drink, and it'll also start to break down any barriers that there might be between client and therapist as things start to soften. So as you can see, Audrey's enjoying a lovely warm foot soak in the seaweed and arnica foaming bath. But you don't have to use the foaming bath. You could use the salts, or you could just use the shower gel to give the feet a nice wash. This range is absolutely beautiful for winter wellness because you've got the mineral rich seaweed. You've also got pine and juniper essential oils tying in with that winter theme. And then of course you've got the arnica, which is beautifully restorative for overworked and tired muscles. So the next step is to exfoliate the feet. So I'm going to use the geranium and orange body scrub. This scrub is really lovely because the exfoliant in it is sea salt, which again is mineral rich, as well as shea butter, which is deeply nourishing. So it's great for winter feet because a lot of the time they're all tucked away in socks and boots and not really cared for. So there'll be lots of hard skin, there'll be callousing, dryness, perhaps cracked heels. So this step is really beautiful for caring for winter feet. So just pay some attention around the heels, and maybe around the big toe area, and around the ball of the foot. Focus any attention where there might be any dryness or hard skin build up. Okay, so if you'd like to rinse, we'll do the other foot. So you can see I've now got Audrey all wrapped up on my bed, and we're ready to start the actual reflexology treatment. So the product we've chosen for winter saviour is the warming salve. You can actually do the reflexology treatment with this salve. It's a great medium to work with, as is the arnica salve and the geranium and orange body balm, which is my favourite to work with. The other product I often work with is the mother's balm. So they're all great products to work with if you are a reflexologist. So I'm just greeting the feet with the warming salve. Now the warming salve is a great product to use because it's got rosemary and ginger in, which are lovely warming essential oils. So great for winter, helping to energise and boost circulation. But it's also got cayenne pepper in it as well, which is particularly good for chilblains and people who suffer with really cold extremities. So people who suffer with cold feet or particularly cold toes, it's a great product to use in reflexology, and then obviously to recommend to your client to buy a pot to carry on using at home at least twice a day. And once I've greeted the feet, I always just spend a few moments working on the solar plexus, which is a really lovely reflex point for relaxation. And once I've massaged, I often just hold this point quietly. Which is really lovely and calming. And then I go down to the adrenals and just hold that point as well, which again is has a lovely calming effect, because we're often running around with 10 things on our mind, 20 things on our to-do list, and not enough time in the day. And then what I also like to do to start is to just give the ankles a bit of a wiggle, as this gives me an idea of how tense the client might be, particularly around the hip area, which is an area where we hold a lot of tension, a lot of emotion. So again, it's just a lovely way to relax the client, but also a way of the client communicating to me what might be going on. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit more of the warming salve on, because I think we've got some dry feet here. And what's really nice to do, particularly for winter, is to just put even more on, probably more than you actually need, the foot that you're not going to be working on to start with, because then that will give us time for that to work its magic, all wrapped up in a lovely towel. While I then start working on this foot. So we've come to the end of the treatment now, the Luxury Reflexology Winter Saviour. So just to recap what we've used, we started diffusing bay laurel and mandarin in the little Live diffuser. We then talked about the tea and the benefits of just physically holding a cup of warm tea or any warm drink. We then used the seaweed and arnica foaming bath for the foot soak, but you could use a shower gel for a foot wash, or you could use any of the salts. Once the feet have been washed, we then use the geranium and orange foot scrub to exfoliate the feet, and then rinse and dry, get the client cosy on the bed, and we then use the warming salve to actually deliver the reflexology treatment. If you're not a reflexologist, there's no reason why you couldn't still give this treatment to your customers without the reflexology and just do a nice mini foot massage with the warming salve. But as Audrey and I are both reflexologists, we would sort of like to give you our point of view in terms of the treatment and adding these extra steps on. So
yeah, I thought it was quite simple in its application. It just needs an extra towel and a bowl full of feet. I love the quiet time tea. That was a really nice treat to have at the start of the treatment, and of course the geranium and orange foot scrub. Well, it's not a foot scrub, but the geranium and orange scrub, that was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jackie.
You're very welcome.